articles from previous years or appropriate by transfer from available funds or borrow a sum of money. So I think it's covered. Line 9.
Line item 9.
Which is town administrators,
Town administrator.
just town administrators, okay.
I'll second that motion for the chair.
Who made it?
I made
Nobody
it.
made it.
You got it?
I'll move it.
I saw you right. Please repeat that motion again, please.
To add to the town administrator's budget, line 9, the sum of $35,000 for purposes of funding the Youth Services Director's salary for FY 2010.
Under Article 4.
In
I have it on
line
Under
item-
Article 4, right?
in Article 4.
Do you want to, Mrs. Moser, do you want to just leave it at that, or do you want to put in the phrase that you said, funding source to be identified?
Funding source to be,
Well, the other ones are identifying a source.
well, they're all listed here, so I don't think we have to put anything.
No, but the other ones
The other ones have a,
have
all right, so from, I guess you could say from the meals tax or
Okay.
stabilization fund or free cash.
stabilization would take 4/5 if you're looking to accomplish it.
Stabilization is isn't it 3/4?
4/5. I believe.
Or, I believe it's.
4/5.
4/5, okay.
4/5. So my suggestion is, if you're really looking to accomplish it, this is not necessarily in agreement with what I'm looking to have done. Do it for
Free
free
cash.
cash, and it's a simple majority.
Okay,
You're welcome.
thank you.
Thank you,
Steve.
Mr. O'Leary.
So it's just free cash?
Or raise and appropriate.
Raise and
Raise-
appropriate or free cash. You got it?
If you gotta reduce something, just
Yeah.
I may have to.
The money can, from that fund can be put. Okay,
Okay. Motion? Who made the motion?
I did.
Right.
Seconded by
Second.
Mr. Delaney. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Against?
No.
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 All right. Let's move on. Article 5, prior year's bills. Requires a 4/5 vote. I don't know the exact number, do you have it?
Pardon me?
Small.
Oh,
Prior year's bills, it was a small amount, though.
I don't have that in
Yeah,
front
it
of me.
was a couple $100.
Couple $100 or something.
All right, recommendation of the, do we have a motion to approve?
May I just ask for just clarification on Article 4? The vote that you just took was just about
Not to
line,
approve.
not to
Right.
include line 9.
Right, oh, yeah,
Are
we
you
should
going to
vote
make a
on-
recommendation on the article itself for the warrant or not?
Oh, that's correct.
At this time?
You want to make a motion
Yeah.
to recommend?
Move to recommend.
Do I hear a second?
I'm sorry.
Motion by
Just for
Mr.
the article,
O'Leary.
the general article.
Yeah.
without
Seconded by Mr. Vino. All in favor?
that. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Barbara. Article 5, motion to recommend. Mr. O'Leary.
Move to recommend.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Vino. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Unanimous. Article 6, fund the snow deficit.
Mr. Chairman, I move to recommend at town meeting, Article 6, fund FY 2009 snow deficit.
Why is that?
Yeah, what you just made a motion is to make a recommendation at town meeting,
At town meeting.
as
Okay.
opposed to
No.
printing it in the warrant and saying
Okay.
we're in favor of it.
Let me make a brief explanation here.
That's what it says.
This $323,000 is coming from raise and appropriate, $90,000, and free cash, $233,500. We don't need that in the motion. We don't need that in here, but this is only a portion of the snow and ice deficit. The rest is being absorbed as raise and appropriate from the town budget. So, motion,
You made a motion to recommend.
do we hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. O'Leary, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Article 7. Transfer monies from the Water Department Infrastructure Stabilization Fund to supplement Water Enterprise Fund. It's necessary to cover the deficit in the Water Enterprise Fund for FY09. And do we have an amount for that? Let's see. Well, it's coming out of the,
Article 7, it's $36,079.
where am I?
Halfway down the first page here, Bob. Article 7.
Oh, you know what, I'm looking. Thanks, Steve. Yeah. I had pulled out an old sheet because of the... Okay. Do we have a motion?
We ought to recommend this?
Yep.
Okay.
Motion by Mr.
Steve, where is it?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Right here,
Yeah.
October town meeting, right here, fiscal year '09, water deficit.
Water stabilization.
Article 7, water stabilization. 36,079.
Motion by Mr. Yule, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's unanimous. Article
8.
8, transfer funds to the Capital Stabilization Fund. This is transferring $158,786 from the sale of town land. And this is the, what's the background on this?
Forget which one.
Let's see.
Is this the remainder from the Eisenhower?
Right, I believe it is. I just wanted to verify that. This is the remainder of funds from,
The 156,780.
yeah, from the
Eisenhower's.
Eisenhower. The original sale of land to fund the Eisenhower purchase, we didn't use all of it initially to cover legal fees. And once everything got settled, this was the surplus. So it's now being transferred back into the Capital Improvement Stabilization Fund, which is how we're paying for the debts service on the purchase of the Eisenhower property. So I have a motion to approve or recommend. Mr. Yule?
Mr. Chairman, I move to recommend
Second.
Article 8, transfer funds to Capital Stabilization Fund.
Second.
Second by Mr. O'Leary. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Article 9. Yes.
Point of order, what it is, and a selectmen's meeting. But can I ask the selectmen to just revisit that or tonight, in this certain problem? Because I don't think we answered the question, if she's laid off, what it would cost the town. And we didn't get a chance to look into the Mr. Delatona's engineer, and I think he had some ideas, and I don't think we had a chance to look into if we raised the fees in the health department to cover it. I do think that you don't know what the layoff people would cost you today, it's gonna cost you more, you know, in the next 6 months, but if we continue to do it, if we still try to raise funds. It just seems it's not even gonna be $35,000, the difference between what you're paying and what we're asking, if it's gonna be down to $15,000, I I guess I'm asking the selectmen, would they be considering really an extra 15,000 for the next 6 months?
You know, I think the board has voted. I'm not
Okay,
sure you're going
no,
to...
I'm not willing
to discuss it further.
I would move to reconsider the vote taken on Article 4, line 9.
All right, I'll second it for discussion purposes.
I'll start by saying this, we took a vote on the increase in the meals tax, 0.75%, and the decision was made to allow it to go on the warrant, to allow the townspeople to decide whether or not they want to increase that. I think we should do a similar service concerning this position and at least allow the townspeople to decide whether or not this is a program, this is a position the townspeople want to have funded out of general operating budget. I think that's at a minimum what we should be doing based upon that. I'm asking that this article be reconsidered, particularly as it relates to, I believe it was line item 9.
Discussion, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Bean?
Yeah, in all due respect to Mr. Delaney, I believe this article got approximately an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of discussion. I don't think anything new will come up. We will probably just be rehashing what we already heard. I know sitting on the board back when this went in, there was discussion, I believe, Mr. O'Leary, that, yeah, we were going to have to pick up unemployment, so I think we did know that going in. So I would not be in favor of opening this issue again.
Just so we all know, we all appreciate that.
Could I ask
Yep.
If the vote stands, the townspeople do not get to decide at all. We may choose to, as a majority of the board, not recommend. But the townspeople should have the ability to vote and decide whether or not the position gets funded. I think that's, at a minimum, what we should be doing.
And I think that, I believe that is the fair thing to do. Mr. O'Leary, you speak of fairness over and over and over again.
I do, but I also look at the responsibility of the board to establish what's going to be on the warrant and what isn't, and what the priorities of the board are in a specific period of time. And I also do not necessarily advocate government by referendum, as I've spoken often about also. In other words, we have to make some tough decisions, and we have a lot of things to consider, and we continue to have lots of issues to consider. So, feel free to single me out, but I've given it a lot of thought, and I came into the meeting tonight after giving it a lot of thought, and my position was stated, and I cast my vote accordingly. It wasn't done lightly, and it wasn't taken easily, and as every member of the board here had to do, was give it reasonable consideration and give it a fair hearing, and I believe I have.
Mr. Yule,
Normally, I would say, as I felt with the tax, sales tax, I felt that that impacts everybody. It's even, it's non-gender based, okay? And I felt, I said before, that the people should decide on that. With regard to this issue, it would be a town meeting scenario, and it may not, or may, be reflective of the entire community. I don't know. I'm familiar with what happens in town meetings. I think we all are, and I don't think in this case that's the way to go.
all right, I'm going to call for the vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
No.
Motion's lost. Let's move on. Reval. This is $110,000 coming out of, I believe, free cash for the purposes of funding the 2011 revaluation, a requirement that we do this every 3 years by the state. Recommendation,
And
motion?
Number 9? Is that number 9?
Number 9.